the world was in chaos. Millions had lost their lives. 2 world wars had devastated nations, economies, and countless families. But from the ashes of destruction, a new hope emerged. A global organization dedicated to ensuring that such horrors never happened again. This is the story of how the United Nations was formed, and how it changed the world. If you find this story compelling, please subscribe to our channel, and share this video. Together we can spread awareness, and make a difference. To understand why the United Nations was created, we need to go back to the early 20th century. After the devastation of World War I, global leaders attempted to create an organization to maintain peace, the League of Nations. However, the League failed. It lacked the authority and military backing to prevent the rise of fascist regimes and the outbreak of World War II. As cities burned and nations fell, it became clear that a stronger, more united effort was needed. In the final months of World War II, leaders from 50 countries gathered in San Francisco to draft a new charter for peace. On October 24, 1945, the United Nations was officially established. The primary goal? To prevent another global conflict and promote international cooperation. The UN was the brainchild of several world leaders. US President Franklin D. Roosevelt played a key role in its formation, coining the name United Nations. British Prime Minister Winston Churchill and Soviet leader Joseph Stalin also contributed significantly. The UN was built on a set of principles that remain its foundation today: maintaining international peace and security, promoting human rights, fostering social and economic development, and providing humanitarian aid. At its core, the United Nations is about dialogue over conflict, cooperation over division, and progress over destruction. To carry out its mission, the UN is divided into several key bodies. The General Assembly is where all member nations have a voice, and global discussions take place. The Security Council is arguably the most powerful branch, responsible for maintaining international peace. It consists of 5 permanent members: China, France, Russia, the United Kingdom, and the United States, along with 10 rotating members. Beyond diplomacy, the UN also works through specialized agencies such as UNICEF for children's welfare, the WHO for global health, and peacekeeping forces that help maintain stability in conflict zones. The UN is funded primarily through contributions from its member states. These contributions are divided into 2 main categories: assessed contributions and voluntary contributions. Assessed contributions are mandatory payments made by each member state, based on factors such as national income and population size. This funding supports the UN's core functions, including peacekeeping operations and the General Assembly. Voluntary contributions, on the other hand, come from governments, organizations, and private donors, and are used to support specialized programs like UNICEF, the World Food Program, and humanitarian aid efforts. Despite its extensive reach, financial challenges remain a pressing issue, as some nations fail to meet their financial obligations, affecting the UN's ability to carry out its mission effectively. For the year 2024, the General Assembly approved a regular budget of $3.59 billion. However, when considering the broader UN system, including its specialized agencies, total expenses reached approximately $67.4 billion in 2022. Assessed contributions are mandatory payments, determined by each member state's capacity to pay, which factors in their gross national income, population size, and other economic indicators. To prevent over-reliance on any single member, a ceiling rate is established. Currently, no member is assessed more than 22% of the regular budget. The United States, the largest contributor, is assessed at this 22% ceiling, contributing billions annually. Other significant contributors include China, Japan, Germany, and the United Kingdom. Since its founding, the UN has played a crucial role in shaping global policies and responding to crises, Some of its greatest accomplishments include the eradication of smallpox through the World Health Organization, peacekeeping missions that have helped stabilize war-torn regions, and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which set a global standard for human dignity and freedoms. The UN has also played a significant role in addressing climate change through agreements like the Paris Climate Accord, and providing humanitarian aid to millions affected by natural disasters and conflicts worldwide. However, the UN has also faced notable failures. One of its biggest shortcomings was its inability to prevent genocides such as those in Rwanda in 1994, and Srebrenica in 1995, where lack of decisive action led to the loss of hundreds of thousands of lives. The organization has also struggled with bureaucracy, inefficiency, and political gridlock, particularly within the Security Council, where the veto power of permanent members has often stalled crucial decisions. Additionally, some peacekeeping missions have been marred by scandals, including accusations of misconduct by UN personnel. The UN's involvement in peacekeeping operations has had both triumphs and setbacks. While successful missions in places like Namibia and East Timor helped nations transition to stability, others, such as in Somalia and the Democratic Republic of the Congo, have faced significant challenges. Insufficient resources, lack of clear mandates, and geopolitical complexities have sometimes hindered the effectiveness of peacekeeping efforts, raising questions about the UN's ability to resolve modern conflicts. The role of the UN in addressing climate change has grown substantially over the years. The Paris Agreement, adopted in 2015, was a landmark achievement. That united nations in a global effort to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. However, enforcement mechanisms remain weak, and some countries have withdrawn or failed to meet their commitments, highlighting the difficulties of collective global action. In the realm of health and humanitarian work, the UN has been instrumental in coordinating responses to major crises. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the World Health Organization led global efforts to provide guidance, distribute vaccines, and mitigate the impact of the virus. Despite facing criticism for its early response, the UN played a vital role in ensuring that developing nations had access to medical resources and financial aid. The UN's Sustainable Development Goals, adopted in 2015, outline a vision for a better future by 2030. These 17 goals address poverty, hunger, education, gender equality, and environmental sustainability. While progress has been made, challenges such as economic disparities, conflicts, and political instability have slowed implementation in many regions. The success of these goals will depend on continued cooperation between nations and sustained financial investment. As global politics shift, the relevance of the UN is frequently debated. Some argue that it needs significant reforms to remain effective in the 21st century. Proposals include expanding the Security Council to reflect modern geopolitical realities, improving transparency, and making decision-making processes more democratic. Others believe that the UN, despite its flaws, remains a vital institution for diplomacy, conflict resolution, and humanitarian work. The United Nations is far from perfect, but it remains one of humanity's greatest attempts at unity. A world without the UN would likely be a world with more wars, more suffering, and less cooperation. As we look to the future, the question remains: can the UN evolve to meet the challenges of the 21st century? What do you think about the United Nations? Has it succeeded or failed in its mission? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more history and world affairs content. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.